All right, guys, a quick morning recap for Monday, January 30th, 2017. Top of the watch list today, we had ESES, EYEG, and then PULM, which unfortunately was an offering pre-market that kind of ruined the ideas I had for this one. Going into with the watch list from last night, I kind of had some ideas on how we'd play this one if it broke over 4. But given the offering, it just kind of broke up the play for me, and it put our focus into some other stocks this morning. So EYEG was one of the first ones to hit the scanner off the open. We were looking for a setup over 210 in this one, so obviously we had the breakout level marked, had a little bit of pre-market action. I typically don't buy these low sort of volume breakout moves off the open, so was just waiting for a proper setup to form in this one over 310 for those of you guys that are watching along in the stream. Didn't actually hold, so started to get short bias pretty quickly. We had a signal. The first signal I got today was actually on this stock. It was a short at 202. This idea, we were kind of toying with it as it came back up to 210. We were just basically saying, look, if it comes back through 202, it's a signal. Unfortunately, I didn't get a hold of that trade, but Trade Addict, a couple of the other guys, really did a good job on that one. The target was 186 was my idea for a target on that one. So that was a miss for me, but a nice idea. And the other trade was ESES. This one I did get. Pretty clear signal on it. So again, you get a lot of kind of chat rooms running these up right off the open. Everyone's piling in. As you can imagine, a lot of people probably lose money when they don't hold. Just kind of waited for a proper signal again on this one. This time the signal was short 170. I got in a little bit early at 171, but the beauty of these setups is, you have time to think about it. So we knew that there was some pretty big resistance at $2. We had some daily chart resistance I was looking at between 215 and 220 up there. And we had a plan for if it got there. It didn't get there, so we rejected 2. When it started to show that real weakness coming in here, that's when we started to stock it for a short. The idea for me was if we kind of rejected VWAP, I'll get a signal through 70 and we'll target. I had a few targets in mind. I just kind of saw it coming here when it rejected that 75 for like the 4th time. I just took it down through 71. And so there was plenty of time for everyone to sort of think about it, take the time to borrow the shares, get involved. I had 4 targets on this one. 3 out of 4 have been reached so far. So the first one was an immediate cover at 60 on that big wash. Easy, 11 cents. By the way, guys, the stop on this trade was merely 4 or 5 cents above our entry price. So a really low risk trade in a high probability setup that I've journaled many times and tested many times. So this is first cover was 160. I took a little bit more out at 157. The second cover was actually right there. So could have got a little greedy there. I was looking for a 48, as you guys know. But when it didn't get through to 48, I went ahead and took a 57 cover here, 54 cover here. And I still have 1 quarter left with a 42 target or a stop for basically break even if it breaks back over 70. So that's the plan on that one. With this last 1 quarter, it still could turn out to be a nice finish if the stock remains weak. As you guys know, I kind of anticipated we'd see a pop through 60 if it held a higher low here, and it just tried a bunch of times to get through 150 with no luck. Now that we're over 160, to be fair, if I had a bad entry, if I entered at 160, for example, I would have actually covered that out for a flat. But with a good entry like we got, there's no harm in holding 1 quarter or 1/5 size and see if we can get that home run finish on it. If not, it's just a flat or a small gain on the rest. So really nice job on that one. So that's 2 for 2 this morning. Unfortunately, I didn't get the EYEG. I didn't have the shares borrowed. I didn't get the locates in time. The idea was there. Glad that some of you guys got it. The target was reached, so I love that trade. This one, 3 to 4 targets are reached, and no matter what, it's going to be a profitable trade. So you gotta love that. The only other signal I got today was CARA. That was for a long, and that was through the breakout level at 60. Sorry, CALA, I believe it was. CALA. The breakout level was 660. It's a pretty clear cup and handle setup, right out of the playbook. But what turned me off of this one, and we started mentioning it, I brought it up a good 6 minutes before the breakout right here. We were looking at it. Great looking chart. No reason really not to take that from a trigger over 660. Just the only thing that kind of turned me off a little bit was the 5-cent pilot tick program. And so for that reason, I decided to leave it. But it ended up being a nice little runner there. And just because I don't take the trade doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that you don't like the trade. It's still a trigger's a trigger, so it's up to you if you want to take it. But the idea was there. We're kind of running into a little bit of lunchtime momentum shift, so we're still over VWAP on CARA. We might get a trade on this one later. Just going to see if it, and sorry, I keep calling it CARA, I mean CALA. We'll see if this one can sort of hold on to VWAP throughout the afternoon. If it can consolidate, we might actually get a setup for a late day trigger on it. So that's CALA, and that's the morning so far, guys. So again, congratulations on EYEG. The ESES trade, I think, was a lot easier to get a hold of because we had plenty of time to prepare for that one. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the morning for now, guys. I think we're going to have a few trades. I'm hoping we have at least 2 more this afternoon. And great start to the week, though. And really nice patience this morning, guys. We're not chasing momentum. We're not, we're just waiting for those proper areas where we can get in. Both trades today, ESES, 5-cent risk. 20 to 30 cent reward. Potentially we're going to get it at 42 if this one rolls over again. If not, we're going to flat the rest. So I mean, if we get the final target on this one, it's going to be a really nice risk reward profile on that trade. And then the EYEG target or entry at 02, the trigger at 02. The stop on that one was just, for me, was 206, was what I was mentioning over the stream. Started at 210 and we just moved it down to 206. So it was around an 8-cent risk to start, but as soon as it washed out there, I just immediately slid that stop down to 206. So technically around 4 to 6 or at the most 8-cent stops. Some really good risk reward profiles in these trades, and that's what we're looking for. Typically all of our trades aren't short, but if you look at the market today, the overall sentiment is pretty bearish. JB, our moderator, was busy shorting futures today, and we were on the stocks. So let's go ahead and just while we're on it, I'm not going to log both of the trades. I'm just going to log the one that I took on ESES. Just once again, to get people in the habit of seeing how I log trades, how we use the journal to track our trades over the live stream. And so I'll just do this one more time for you guys so you can see how I go about doing it. It's really quite quick. Again, I just copy one of the prior trades, the grids, add a new note. First thing I'll do is just paste the grid in. We're going to replace the values with the ones from the current trade. So the trade is ESES. In this case, it's short again. The entry was the trigger was 170. I got in at 171. I anticipated the breakdown. Stop was actually just going to be 176. So again, just a mere 5 cents above our entry. Exits so far, we got, so far on that one, we got 60, 57, and 54. 160, sorry guys, 1 second. 160, 157, 154, and target is 142. I'll update this at the end of the day, with whatever happens. And for the notes on that one, so we had short signal at 170 on failed follow through momentum. Pretty clear trade, good RR. And I'll do a little more detail on those notes later, but we'll go ahead and I'll show you again how I copied the chart. It's pretty simple. I like to use it depending on what time of day. I'll use a 1 minute or a 5 minute, or just really depends. You just click in the chart. Doesn't matter what program you're using. Could be DAS, could be eSignal, could be again TC2000, whatever it is. Just make sure that you're highlighted in the area that you want to copy. Hold down Alt, press Print Screen. Come back to Evernote. We're going to paste that below, which you can, for the hotkey for that, you can just use Control V, which is pretty universally known. Control V. There's our new chart. If you want to add some annotations, this takes a little more time. It's entirely up to you, but this is pretty much it. You're done. You just got to add some tags here. Before I add the annotations, let's add the tags. Today is 01/30/2020. 2017. Again, keeping it consistent with the date and formats that I used in my prior trades to keep everything nice and organized, okay? So here is a quick glance at my other formatted tags. So I'm going to use the same month, day, year format for that. This trade is a short, so we're going to tag that. And this one is a win. And again, you have to use, if you want to keep it organized, use the same tag, whether it's win, wins, winner, loss, losses, loses for some of you, and wins. So there it is. 0130 short wins, and that'll automatically be added to our journal. And again, here's the chart. We're going to do a quick annotation. I'll show you how to do that. So you just click on the @ symbol. We're just going to go ahead and add just a quick arrow to show the entry point. You just flip that around, and you can resize it, move it, whatever you need to do, and just add as much detail as you want. For the sake of keeping this video short and sweet, we'll just add the entry there, and I'll put the exits in later. So guys, that's the morning. And again, we did have a trigger on EYEG. Technically, I should be adding it, I guess, to the journal. These are trades that I want to be able to look over later, even if I didn't take the trade, which, again, ESES is one that I got. I did miss the trade on, unfortunately, on EYEG. But the signal was there, and so we're trying to track what signals are working best for us, and I want to be able to look through those trades, look through my shorts and see what's working and what's not working, and remember that SSR trade on, for example, on PULM on Friday. So there's a ton of value in this, guys. I really hope that you're updating your journals and keeping track. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the detailed trade walkthrough on ESES, step-by-step, moment-by-moment price action on the entries, exits, and stops. Same with EYEG, even though I didn't get the trade, still a full trade walkthrough there for you guys. And hopefully we can get a setup maybe later on CALA. RGSE had a nice little spike off the open. I did have an idea here that 575 would become some resistance just based on the daily chart. I didn't jump in front of that. I'm not really looking to front side short something that crazy, but it looks like it would have been a nice little idea. We had a quick pop over VWAP, and we're now back below it. So we'll keep an eye on RGSE throughout the afternoon as well. So that was the morning, guys. Hope you had a great morning with us. And again, we're going to look for, hopefully have 1 to 3 more trades this afternoon if the market allows it. So stay tuned. And again, guys, thanks for tuning in this morning. Going to take a quick lunch break, and we'll be back in 40 minutes to live stream some more trades.